Okay guys, yes. It's me. Mackenzie. So I got this letter in the mail. Since the mail is divided between all of us, Matt basically gave me this to read on video. This will prove that Melody and her deadbeat father can't get anyone's records whatsoever, so, let's see. So I wouldn't be doing this if I hadn't picked up from a friend that you're resorting to legal threats. If it wasn't for this I wouldn't bother to follow up because I really couldn't care less, and I have no interest in indulging in your one-sided crusade against me based on basically nothing but the usual he said, she said hearsay. Let me get to the point. By trying to invoke the law you, ironically, exposed your extreme ignorance on the subject, as per usual. Let's begin by dissecting the first and most damning statement you made. It's damning for you in the sense that it exposes your severe incompetence, but, with you, that should be expected. The ridiculous notion that you're going to scrape my records is exactly that, a ridiculous notion, an unfounded and baseless statement that stands on no ground should you try and actually carry it out. Why is that? One simple reason, one which you would know if you or your father actually knew anything about the law. They don't publish records for individuals under 18, doing so is a violation of privacy and breaks the law in itself. This means that your campaign to dig up anything on me is going to fail to expose anything serious, and in truth all it exposes is your pettiness and insecurity. I mean seriously, who resorts to actually trying to dig these things up over nothing more than rumors and speculation? It's pathetic. Your second statement I'd like to address is the equally absurd idea that you're going to scrape my call recordings. Recordings, which by the way, do not exist, and cannot exist. If they existed they would violate a host of privacy laws. Funny how the claims of the individual supposedly educated and knowledgeable about the law can be refuted by actually knowing the law itself. Honestly, I could go on and on. I could explain to you the true processes, the orders you would have to file to make your threats have any possibility of actually holding weight. The fact that is a costly and timely endeavor, so it's really not worth it, but that's going to be a waste of time. You won't get it, you're just going to insist you're correct because your father said so, and whatever Melody makes up in Fantasyland must be reality, right? The only reason I'm even doing this is because I'm sick. I'm sick of you threatening people who you know are ignorant in the field of law to feel like you have some superiority over them because you're using big words, even though you have the intellectual capacity of a toddler and your words hold about as much weight as the words of one. If there's anything I'd like you to take away from this, it's this: please stop using the law, and any other field you know people don't know about, as a weapon because people like me exist to expose your ignorance. This time you got unlucky and tried your nonsense on someone who, although I don't pretend to know everything about the law, I certainly know enough to shut down your baseless threats and expose them as the empty, shallow and meaningless words they really are. I'd like to end off by saying that despite your threats, despite your petty one-sided crusade, despite you exposing yourself as an insecure coward willing to resort to extreme measures over rumors, and despite your long history of doing this nonsense which I doubt is going to end, I still wish you the best. May the Lord bless you with the things you need the most, which appears to be a properly functioning brain as well as emotional stability. I say this with sincerity. I don't wish you any harm, but I'd also like you to understand that your days of weaponizing and exploiting ignorance for an ego boost to pretend you hold power that you do not and which you wouldn't know the first thing about even if you did are over. I'm going to widely publicize this, and I ask anyone reading to spread this around as well so that anyone you might spew your nonsense to in the future knows just how little you and your father can actually do. I'm going to ensure that your intimidation tactics don't work on anyone again. I'm sorry you like feeling powerful and I'm ruining that for you, but maybe you shouldn't have messed with a guy who actually knows the basics of law and is also known for challenging and exposing falsehood of all kinds. So, yeah, that was BGS's message to Melody basically. So Melody, if you end up watching this, even though I know you don't really care about this channel or this video, just know that now BGS called you out on your BS. You're screwed. You can't use your legal record scraping stupidity on me, Matt, anyone. You can't do shit anymore. You mad? Then stay mad. Anyways, let's end this video by doing this. Oops.